Good morning, everyone. It's April 20th, about 2.5 weeks since my last video. Lots of things are happening in the garden, starting to harvest. Here's my beautiful fig tree that's coming out. If you remember the first video I did, it was kind of naked, didn't have any leaves on it, but now it is starting to get lots and lots of figs, which are wonderful. If you've never had fresh figs, they're so good. I like to eat them fresh, but so do the birds, so that's why I have probably 6 big trees here. I just love them. Can't have enough of them. Okay, let's go inside and see what's growing today. My cutting garden's coming up well. The blanket flowers are still blooming. There's a little rose. Well, I'm going to have to start pulling up some things because my collard greens are getting huge and it's getting kind of warm. If you let them get too big when it's warm, they kind of get bitter. So I need to pick those and freeze some of them. Here's Bryson's carrots. They're starting to thin out. They're looking wonderful. My hubby and I have been eating every night from the garden. We've been having, let's see if I can get some right here. Zucchini's going crazy. Plants are huge. Zucchini. Zucchini. But love zucchini. I have to kind of hide it in muffins and casseroles to get my husband to eat it, though. He's not a big fan of zucchini. And we have lots of yellow squash. I like mixing up the two and sauteing them. And the green beans. This is my first little teepee right here. And looks like in a day or two I will be picking green beans. See if this is the first batch that I have on here. The nice thing about green beans is you can just basically come out every day for a couple of weeks and pick. And so it's a good idea to plant in succession. I had planted these and then several weeks later I made another bean teepee. And here is the Japanese cucumber I was showing you that I planted in the bag. It seems to be doing really well. We have blooms, but no cucumbers yet. And over here was my herb and pepper bed, but it has a little bit more than herbs and peppers. I just plant with any space, of course. There's a spot, so I planted, I can't remember what it was. Looks like zucchini. And here we have a little volunteer sunflower that came up, so I'm just leaving him. Right here in the middle I have some mustard greens that we have, let's see. Yes, we have bell peppers coming along. I have bell peppers, red ones, green ones, yellow ones, all different colors and all different types of peppers. And we'll go back over here to this bed, and we've been eating broccoli, and as you can see, we have broccoli heads. It's getting close to that time to be pulling them up. It's another cool weather vegetable that I probably should have planted. I didn't really do a fall garden this year. But if you do it in the fall, then you can have it up into the winter time. I'm actually still eating on my lettuce, which is surprising that it hasn't gotten bitter, but I've been eating on it, and we've been having lots and lots of sugar snap peas. Me and my grandson came down here last night, and I got him to eat one raw, which is the way I like them, but I've been pulling couple of handfuls off every evening to do a stir fry with. But there's still quite a few blooms. We had a nice little quick shower last night, so it's amazing how just that little bit of nitrogen and nothing like fresh old rain to make things pop and start growing. The watermelon's getting off to a slow start, but they will grow all summer, so I'm not too concerned. I don't believe that we introduced you to Aunt Gigi last time. When my little niece, who's 15, was a little girl, when we first started gardening, she named it, she calls me Aunt Angie, and I used to pick her up from preschool, and the kids thought she was saying Gigi. so they started calling me Gigi, and it just kind of stuck. So when I had grandchildren, we decided that that's what they were going to call me, is Gigi. And there's Toby in the background. Here's the bean tower that I showed you. The beans were just coming up. Well, they're starting to run. And this is really fun for the kids because once it's all the way up, they can go inside and pick the beans for me, and I can pick the ones on the outside. So they really like that. There's more tomatoes that I have planted along the side. And like I said, I call it a princess flower. I don't know what the botanical name is, but it just blooms like this all summer. And I can't remember where I got it, and I only got one, but you can get cuttings from it. So if anyone close wants one, you're welcome to come and visit me, and I'll give you some cuttings. This is a little cherry tomato. Got little baby tomatoes coming in. Eggplant. And here is potatoes. And it is starting to die. It's turning yellow when the plant dies. That means you're ready to take the potatoes. Now this one's nice and green. So I'll have potatoes in this one, and then after they're gone, then I'll have the second bed. I tell you what, everything planted the top of a pineapple. And maybe probably in about 4 years I'll have a pineapple. I've done it before. It takes quite a while. Okay, here is the tomatoes. They're looking beautifully, lots of blooms, not tons of tomatoes yet, but here is one down here. Let's see. Yes, and we have a couple more over here. I noticed it looked like a bug was trying to bite on it, so I need to get some of my dust. I have an organic dust that's made out of crushed shells, and when it's put on the plant, when the bug crawls across it, it's just the tiny particles are supposed to get into its body and suffocate it, so it is organic. So I'm not worrying about having anything synthetic on my tomatoes. I really just love to just be able to come out to the garden and just pick it and eat it and not worry about anything being on it that I would have to scrub off. Another cucumber vine. We picked cucumbers last night for dinner, so I don't have a whole lot on the vines. These are little bitty babies, still growing. Right here I have a jalapeno pepper. So lots of tomatoes. And as you can still see, my little experiment, these are beautiful. These over here are doing okay, but they look kind of dwarfed, and they all were planted at the same time. There's the onion I pulled up this morning because I need one for dinner. But more cucumbers. Another cucumber vine. What was so funny is these, on the packet it said that they were supposed to be bush cucumbers, but they don't look bush to me. But that's it. A lot of times they get mixed in. But we have lots and lots of blooms. Lots of baby cucumbers right there. Okay. More seeds left over, more cucumbers. Okay, last time I shot, this was my spinach bed. Had to pull it up, got too hot. Had some extra squash seeds, so I planted them there. You can see down in here, this was another bed that I used as my compost, and it has eggshells in it. But I don't have the spinach, but I have the Swiss chard, and it takes the heat more than spinach. I mean, it's not exactly like spinach, but it's really good in a salad, or just pick it and saute it in little olive oil and chopped up garlic just till it wilts, and it's really yummy. Then on the back side, I put some little pickling cucumbers. They're just now taking off. They're blooming. No cucumbers yet. But if we could just get a couple of days worth of rain, I would definitely have cucumbers. Well, here's a shot of the garden, and as you can see, everything's growing and blooming, and we're starting to harvest a little at a time. A couple more weeks, I think I'll have more than my share of zucchini and squash, and I'll be sharing it with everyone. Beautiful day in Florida. Going to hit almost 90, so sometimes here we go straight from winter to summer, not really a spring. My favorite time in the garden is usually mid-May, because that's when everything is at its peak. And then as June rolls around, it's a little bit more difficult to grow, you know, the tender plants that you like to eat, like the cucumbers and the squash and zucchini. They'll last, but they start getting the fungus with the afternoon rains. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to shoot another one in a couple of weeks. Have a great day. Bye.